Yeah. Is there anything else, do you think? I know we haven't covered all our questions, but I think, you know, we've covered the important ones.
I've got like just a question that's probably not necessarily integral to this particular process, but how long have you all known each other and how do you know each other?
Well, I mean, I'm an outsider because I only came to Nottingham in 1991.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So my feminist activities were in Manchester.
Yeah, I came here in 68.
Oh,
just after May 68, as it were, which has obviously informed my life. And then I met you about.
I came in 1970, so we were at university together.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and then we were in the International Marxist group.
Shared had flats in the same house.
Oh.
And then
I came to Nottingham in '79, and so I think just sort of our paths crossed through various.
Because your
campaigns.
boyfriend was in the IMG.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So we crossed paths. Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So
I just get this strong sense of, you know, how networked you seemed when you were
Nottingham
talking.
is very networked.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not so big. It's big enough that you don't, you know, there's lots going on.
It's a women's city, isn't it? Really?
It always has
So they
been,
say,
hasn't it, because of
yes.
the lace makers.
Yeah.
And Lee used to be a councillor. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chair of
The
Women's Aid.
women,
Oh no, you're not now.
I'm not now.
But
No.
you were.
I was
Yeah.
co-chair.
Yeah.
Co-chair.
How long were you co-chair for?
For 4 years, over just before and during COVID. So,
Wow.
Well,
Easy.
no, not at all. Not at all. No.
Is there anything else, do you think, you want us to capture on our little video?
I think the collection is the sort of just encompasses the range, and it's just amazing, really, to see it. And I'd certainly forgotten that. You know how many different types of magazines, and as we talked about before, that energy that came through. And yeah, it's a really, really good thing to do.
Yeah. I would just add that I think that internationalism is quite an important thing, and perhaps that's not always touched on. Certainly it was very true of the Nottingham women's movement, is that they had international connections. Some of the early founders were linked into America and Canada, and that influenced the movement developing here in Nottingham. Then the Women Now, you know, their magazine journal, they always had international focus on articles, and they also had women here in the city as well that were, because of the university, wasn't it, that they came to study or were part of this working. So there's the international dimensions of the women's movement are important.
Did you ever come across Outwrite?
Yes, we've got, yeah.
And that's an amazing newspaper.
It is.
You don't have anything like that today.
No.
It's an extraordinary newspaper because of its reach, you know, and the stories from across the globe.
Yeah.
Really, what an amazing achievement.
Yeah.
Funded by
We've got the
GLC.
whole set of that, yes, with some duplicates of that. And
That's
I mean,
amazing.
it's a treasure trove, isn't it, really, at the Women's Centre, because there's women's magazines from Germany, from Japan, America. There's the Irish Women's Press. You know, it is a fantastic collection, and that's only partly duplicated. We've given extras to the universities to create their, because it's a women's only space, and therefore we've got students to accommodate, and it doesn't have a lift. It's the Women's Centre. The archive's on the top floor.
No, I've not been since I sprained my ankle. I've not been up there.
I was just looking at your number 10.
Oh, yes.
Did your mother read feminist magazines? No, they didn't exist, did they? And that was the big difference with our generation, that suddenly they were there, but for our parents, certainly our parents.
My mother was a great reader, though. she was always read really, and she also had the Women's Weekly,
Yeah.
which I used to quite enjoy. But yeah.
But one of the things that happens, because we do tend to talk in waves, don't we? You know, the second wave coming along post 68 is that actually there are feminist magazines out there and periodicals, but they don't really kind of fit anywhere. You know, particularly in our understanding of feminist histories. So someone like Kathy, who was here,
All the
works
time
at-
and tide.
yeah, and that, you know, that carries on throughout the middle of the 20th century, and you know, it's a fantastic feminist magazine. But
What was it called?
Time and Tide, and internationalist in its focus as well. But we tend to tell stories in particular kinds of ways, and we kind of reinforce that wave scenario, don't we? Because it's, you know, it does capture something about, we were talking about the energy, but at the same time it does that thing that we were talking about as well, which it renders invisible the things that happen between those waves, you know, which is interesting. But yeah, we tend to reinforce the same kind of narratives a lot of the time. Well,
I think that.
thank you so much.